Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is Monday, October 7th. Again, I'm pretty sure it's the 7th. Yeah, I think I'm right. So, lots of book discussion in today's video because I have books that I've read. I got my book of the month box, which has 4 or 5 books in it. Yeah, but if you saw the title of the video, I have a chair update and it's not a good one. So to refresh people that maybe don't know the whole saga with me trying to find a chair for my library, back when we did the library, I went out on Sunday, June 9th and went to every furniture store in our area, which was like 4 or 5 stores. And I didn't find anything. You know, I'm very particular. Obviously, everyone's very particular. You want something that you really love, right? I knew I wanted a dual power recliner like this one because you can control the head and the foot separately. And I wanted a color. I wanted like blue or pink or purple or something for out there. So I was on my way home and I called Bill and I was like, I didn't find anything. I don't really know what to do. He's like, did you try Value City? And I said, no. So I went there because it was on my way home and I found a chair. It was blue. It was dual power. It was on sale. Fantastic. Well, because the chair was almost $700, I didn't buy it right there in the store. I came home, discussed it with Bill, and then went and ordered it online. Now, keep in mind, I ordered this on June 9th. So when I ordered it, the delivery date said September 24th. Okay, well, that's like 3 months, but all right. I mean, if that's what it takes. So paid for it, waiting patiently, trying to wait patiently. About a month before, so in August, Bill said, you might want to call them just to make sure that it's still on track. So when I call, the girl says, no, by the look of the website, it's now October 12th. What? I was really upset. I was just frustrated. And so they reschedule it for October 12th. Now I have the forethought. Every day I'm looking at the website like I'm going to order the chair, which will tell me the delivery date. So I check the website every single day. It's still saying October 12th, October 12th, October 12th until last Friday. Last Friday's date was the 4th. When I woke up Friday morning, I mean, this was part of my routine is I would check this website every day. When I woke up and I checked the website, it said November 26th. No. So Bill called me like right after I had looked at it and I said, I'm going to cancel the order. I said, because I can't just keep having this pushed back. So I called and canceled it very easily. They didn't even try to persuade me to not cancel it. So waiting for that money to come back. I'll give it a week and then I'll be calling them again. But now in the meantime, I am back to square one for the chair. And back to square one in not a good way. Like, I'm just so over it, truly. So I explained the whole thing to Bill because remember he was out of town. So when I talked to him Friday morning, he's like, don't worry, we're going to find you a chair. All right. So I get him at the airport Friday without a hitch. All of that worked out well. Saturday comes and he's like, let's go to Gavigan's where I got this chair. Okay. Didn't find anything. And then we were sitting in the car and I said, why don't we go to Value City see if the chair is there, because the chair I sat in when I discovered it was the blue one. I said, maybe they'll sell us the floor model. Now, we go. Of course, the salesperson approaches us, this gentleman, and I think his name was Tom. That's what Bill said. I make a beeline to where I remember the chair was, and it was still there all these months later. So I say to Bill, this is it. This is the chair. And so he calls the guy over, and we explain what's going on. And Bill's like, we would like to buy the floor model. He's like, I'll even pay $100 over that price just to get it, just to be able to take this chair out of here. And the guy says, well, I can't authorize that. A manager has to do it. So Bill's like, where's he at? So we see this guy walk over to two other employees. We don't know what was said. We couldn't hear because it was kind of far away. The guy comes back and he says, the manager just went to lunch. Bill and I look at each other. Okay. Bill says, well, can you call him? And the guy says, no, we don't have his phone number. What? Bill's like, you mean to tell me that you can't get a hold of a manager if you need to? The guy's like, yep, that's right. And he said, check back in a half hour or an hour. He's like, well, he's leaving at 2 o'clock for the day. And I said, let's just go. I said to Bill, I was just so irritated at this point. I said, let's just go. So when we're walking out, Bill looks at his phone and he's like, it's 1:30. If all of that's true, that guy's not coming back, right? So we get home. I'm irritated just with the whole thing. And I relay the story to Jill by voice message that night. She writes me back and she's like, that guy was probably the manager. He just didn't want to deal with it. My mind exploded. I didn't even think of that. Possibly, because all of it just sounded like, you know how you get an instinct for things? Like, all of it just sounded suspicious. Like, none of it made any sense. And I thought, all right. So, get up Sunday morning. Bill ran an errand with our neighbor around the corner. And I sat out back for a while. And I was just... I'm done. I'm done with trying to force finding a chair. Striving, looking, because I look on Wayfair, I have to sit in the chair. I can't not buy a chair without sitting in it. Facebook Marketplace gives me a headache trying to navigate that. I told Bill, so he comes home. Now I'm kind of fit to be tied. Not fit to be tied, I guess, in a bad way. I'm just like... done. I'm done. And he comes home and he comes out back and he's like, we're not really talking. And he's like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, you're acting weird. And I'm like, no. And I just go off like on this tirade, right? He's like, wow, you're in an interesting mood today. And I'm like, why does everything seem like a hassle, right? Why does it seem like a hassle, me trying to get a chair for essentially we're 5 months now? And so I told him, I said, I'm giving it some breathing room. I'm giving it some grace. I'm stopping for right now. I said, because I'm too irritated with trying to force it and strive and spend all my time looking, and I'm over it. I'm over it. So I don't know what I'm going to do for a chair out there. In the meantime, I can sit in the accent chair and at least enjoy part of the library I can sit in that chair and read. I've done that. And Bill suggested to me, he's like, have you thought about actually getting like a love seat for in there instead of a recliner? No, I didn't consider that. I'm like, I guess at this point, anything is possible, right? To try to do. And I'm reading a book by Charles Stanley that I bought at the used book sale called How to Listen to God. It's quite interesting because I am to the point that did God shut this door because this chair is not the right chair for me? Is that what it is? Is there a better chair out there? I just don't know where it is or what's going to happen. I just know that when in the past, when I have tried to force a situation or, you know, you manipulate circumstances to try to get your way, it never works out. It always backfires. So I got to let this go. I told Bill, that's what I said to him when I was sitting out there Sunday. I said, I'm just letting it go. I'm letting it go because I can't. My mental faculties, my energy, I'm depleted. I'm depleted from trying to find a chair. Okay. So, books. Yeah. So I did finish 3 books since I last talked to you. I finished Judy Blume's Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Absolutely love this book. She actually has a set of the books that she wrote, like, there's a couple other ones that are like young adult. It's in a box set. I put it on my wish list for Christmas because I want it. And one of them is this book. So if I do get it, the box set, I'll just donate this to the library. But I would love to read those again. So I finished that. I also finished The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. Loved. It took a minute for me to get into it, but once it picked up, holy hell, love, 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 love. And actually the library sent me an email. One of my books is in that I have had on hold for a while. So today I'm actually getting a new office chair. I have had this chair for a couple years now, and it's not my favorite anymore. So Bill's actually going to take this chair to work, and there is a chair at Costco that is it was $150 when we were there, and I think it's $169 now. But when we were there looking at it, and they had a model built, so I was able to sit in it, very comfortable. A couple walked by, and the guy said, if you're looking for a chair, that one's it. He's like, I have that chair. And he said, I sit in it 8 hours a day. And he's like, it's the most comfortable chair I've ever owned. Okay, you sold me. Yeah. Nothing better than like a real live testimonial for it, right? So I thought about it because we had my car. We could not, can't fit a big box in my car. So I said to Bill yesterday, because we were both off today, can we go to Costco and get that chair? Because I'm working the rest of the week and would love to have it. So we are doing that today, and we're going to stop by the library so I can return this and pick up the other book. So I also finished Caleb Crow's The Wrong Neighbor. There is much like hubbub about this because in my last video I told you about the post I made. I also made a post when I finished it, and he reposted that. It's very cool. Holy hell. He depicts your worst nightmare. Truly. It starts to take a turn at the end, and it's all wrapped up in a bow at the end, and chef's kiss, the ending. OMG. I finished this in one day. Liked it so much. So he has only written one other book called The Girl in the Painting. I just ordered that from Amazon because I really want to read it. So yeah, recommend that. That was my 91st book of the year. I only have 9 books to read to meet my 100 book goal by the end of this year. So what am I currently reading now? Of course, this one, Charles Stanley, How to Listen to God. Loving it so far. And then What Happened to Nina by Dervla McTiernan. Now, I realized that this book was published, and I was curious. It was published in 2023, okay? I've only read the first chapter of this so far because then I started reading this. This has Gabby Petito vibes so far, just in the first chapter, if you are familiar with her story. This got rave reviews, like a lot of people liked it, so very curious. I will keep you posted. Okay, so I did get a tiny bit of stitching done on Halloween Quaker by Primrose Cottage stitches, and by a tiny bit I got the tree done. So that's done. And now I'll be inching my way up here to there's a big emblem right here. Yeah. But what's so awesome is that registration for the Stitch New Jersey 2025 retreat happened over the weekend. And Jill was on the wait list. She hasn't been to a retreat in 12 years. And Terry was on the wait list. They both got a spot. It will be a good time to have Jill at a retreat again. I have not seen her in person in 2 years. So to be able to spend multiple days with her will be fantastic. So already looking forward to that. All right, so I did buy a book because perusing one of my book groups on Facebook. And if you remember, do you remember when you were a kid, there was a book called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark? This combines, there was 3 volumes of that. This combines all 3 volumes. Oh my God, are you kidding? This book was like, I don't know, $12? Yeah, please. Can't wait to read these again because I know they scared the bejesus out of me as a kid. Of course, I did not read this when Bill was gone because you know my stance on that. But yeah, cannot wait to dig into that. Okay, and then, ooh, this is precariously balancing behind the tripod. This lovely big box, look at that, arrived on Friday. So, and I'm sad, even though I added it to my box for next month, I was too hasty when I was adding books. The guy that wrote Hidden Pictures, Jason Recolak, is that how you say his name? He wrote a new book called The Last One at the Wedding, and I've been dying to read it. And that was a selection you could have made like to add to the box. And I was too hasty, so I'm adding it for next month's box. I've already like put it in my cart. But I was so excited. Let's go. This has gotten rave reviews. Everyone that I've seen that's put a review has loved it. I think I'm going to read this after I finish the current book I'm reading, even though I'm trying to get through my library ones. I have 5 or 6 more of library books, but dying to love her stuff, dying to read it. Then I also, because, wow, this is a big book, Leanne Moriarty's new book, Here One Moment. I had this on my wish list for a long while, and look how big that is. But love her stuff. I've read every one of her books. Then I have heard so much about this one. Again, a thick one. Good God, I am really committing myself to these, you know, big books. All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. Again, another one that some hated, some didn't. I have to read it for myself. And then one more. No, 2 more. I'm a liar. The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Another one that was actually the Book of the Month selection you could have chosen, I think, 2 months ago. A lot of people loved this, and I said, okay, I'm going to get it. And I'm gonna have to put these on a different shelf on my bookshelf out there because I'm running out of room for my to be read pile. I'm gonna have to stack these underneath. I just realized that. And the last book I got was Someone in the Attic because I wanted to add that to the library. So remember I just read this? Loved it. Oh man. First chapter, I'm in the hallway looking at our attic thing to say, could someone live up there? No, they can't. Or without me knowing. But yeah, wanted to add this to the library. And their hardcovers are only $11.99, where if you're buying a hardcover on Amazon, they can be $15, $20. So when I can, I'll get it from Book of the Month. Okay, that needs to go in recycling. And that's all I got. Yeah, and you know, I wanted to give you guys an update on the chair because I've had like 3 or 4 people comment, oh, the next time we see you, you're going to be in your chair. Nope. No, I am not. Which is really unfortunate. But I'm trying to think. There's a better plan in place for me to have a chair out there or something out there. Don't know what that is yet. Because like I said, my brain is tired. My brain hurts from thinking about it, trying to finagle it. I'm done finagling. Yeah. So, as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.